So FlyQuest and 100 Thieves just faced off in the losers bracket final in a pretty hype best of 5 to see who will go on to face Team Liquid in the LCS finals tomorrow. And this was not a close series. 100 Thieves beat Cloud9, I think more because Cloud9 was bad and less because they were actually good. But nonetheless, FlyQuest played really well today. It was clean 3-0, and I want to focus in specifically on one player, and that is Massu, FlyQuest's ADC. Now, in my opinion, at the beginning of the year, FlyQuest bot lane was somewhat of a hindrance for their team. I think the rest of their team was really solid, and I think that their bot lane was kind of not on the same level or the same page as the rest of the team. But throughout the year, it's been slow, steady improvement. Just really, really nice to see. Obviously, FlyQuest did not play well at MSI. They did not play well at the Esports World Cup. But in North America domestically, throughout the spring and summer splits, there has been really steady progression with this team. They were power ranked pretty high. They were expected to be top 3. But they're really, really strong now, and their bot lane is a big part of that. They look much better than they did previously. And Massu, I'll be quite honest, in today's best of 5, I think these 3 games were the best ADC performance I've seen in recent LCS memory. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. And the most impressive part about this is that he's only a rookie. He won Rookie of the Year for a reason. And the fact that he's this young and he's this good already is really, really impressive. I'm pretty confident in saying that he's probably the best ADC in North America. And I might even go as far as to say he's one of the best players in North America. This guy is insane, and I want to go over a little bit as to why, specifically with his itemization throughout the 3 games. Just in general, though, his positioning in teamfights was fantastic. His DPS was great. His decision making was solid. His lane phase was good. There wasn't really a clear weak point for Massu today. He just played really, really solid, and I think that's what's making him a really strong player, or at least partly, is that he doesn't really make a lot of mistakes, and he's just really consistent. But going ahead and taking a look at the itemization from these 3 games, in the first game he played Ashe, and as you guys know, I'm an absolute Static Shiv hater. I think this item is really bad, and that is an item that a lot of Ashe players throughout this entire year have been building consistently. Massu, however, did not do that. He went with the I want to do damage route and chose to build Kraken Slayer first item into Phantom Dancer second, and I don't think he got a chance to finish Infinity Edge, but he was going into Infinity Edge third. This is fantastic because you're doing your job as an ADC. You're recognizing your role in the game. It's to scale up, it's to get items, and it's to do damage. Do as much damage as possible, and this Ashe build really exemplifies that. Like I said before, his positioning in teamfights was superb in all 3 games. So I think if you watch him in these kinds of teamfights, he's never out of position, and he's always pumping out consistent damage. And it's just really impressive to see, consistent ADC gameplay like this when a lot of pro ADCs, especially in the LCS, I feel like, are either too aggressive or too kind of just sitting in the back and not really doing much damage. So it's really, really nice to see from Massu. He played great in game 1, itemized superbly, and there's the Infinity Edge third. He played really, really well in game 1. And moving on into game 2 and 3, something else I want to point out is that he was on a kind of a different style of champion in every single one of these games. In game 1, he played the prototypical ADC hyperscaling with Ashe, and in games 2 and 3, he played something very different. So let's go ahead and take a look at game 2. So here in game 2, you can see that FlyQuest Massu is on the Kai'Sa. And the thing I love about this is that he didn't do the standard on-hit Kai'Sa that we see nowadays with Static Shiv into Ginsus into Nashers. While that build has potential and it does do some good damage, it's just not Kai'Sa's best build, and it has never been Kai'Sa's best build. For ages, I've been calling for people to play AP Kai'Sa, as this is one of the most game-breaking, uninteractive play styles and champions that is in League of Legends. And this is the first time all year in quite a long time that I've seen anyone do AP Kai'Sa. And you can watch the game and watch the actual gameplay and look how little there is for 100 Thieves to do into this pick. It's completely uninteractive when Kai'Sa is 2 to 3 screens away just poking with W's, as you can see here in this clip, and once 100 Thieves gets poked down, then FlyQuest can go in for the team fight. It's completely uninteractive. There's zero counterplay to AP Kai'Sa. And I'm really, really happy that Massu went for this build. I think it's been far too long since anyone has done it, and I'm just really ecstatic that first off someone did it and then it was Massu, but secondly that it was successful, because it happens a lot of times where people try out a new pick that should be good, and they don't perform well or they lose on it, and then it just goes back in the trash can. But Massu was really successful on the AP Kaisa, utterly popped off. Yes, it helps when you get an early triple kill from a nice gank, but the fact of the matter is AP Kaisa is just by far her best build. It's game breaking, it's uninteractive, and more people need to do it. So great job to Massu in game 2. So taking a look at Massu in Game 3, he's on the Ziggs, and even though he got off to a really rough start this game, going 0-3 in the early lane, he still performed quite well. He itemized very, very well with the Leandries and the Pen against a lot of magic resist, and largely in team fights, his positioning was still very, very good, and he was able to DPS a lot and pump out a lot of damage. And again, that's what Ziggs is all about, in combination with his wave clear, of course. So Massu, just throughout these 3 games, I'm really, really impressed with, obviously for all the reasons I stated before, but also because he played such different styles of champions in every single game. Again, he played the regular hyperscaling ADC and Ashe in game 1, he played a mage poke champion in game 2, and he played kind of like a wave clear DPS mage in game 3. It's very different styles in every single game, and he was really consistent on all 3 of them. And that's really impressive, and also really hard to do in pro play and competitive play in general, to be really practiced and be able to navigate different styles really well, consistently. It's very, very impressive to watch, and Massu just performed really well today. I don't know who actually won Player of the Series, but I definitely would have voted for Massu. This guy completely popped off in all 3 games, and FlyQuest was a completely deserved W. From top to bottom, they played very, very solid, and the drafting for the most part was also very, very good. I'd also like to point out also that in 2 games, Renekton was played this series, and the champ did basically nothing. So that's just a side note. But anyways, Massu played really, really well today. And also, I'm excited to see what FlyQuest can do at Worlds, because obviously their 2 previous international performances this year were really, really lackluster. But again, they've been improving steadily throughout the entire year. So I'm hoping, in combination with a strong end to the summer split and some boot camping in Europe before Worlds, maybe they can start being competitive and challenging Eastern teams. That's all I've been asking throughout this year from LCS teams. You don't have to beat them. You don't have to take down Eastern teams in best of 5s. Just be competitive. Just challenge them and make it close. Anyways, great performance from Massu today. Great performance from FlyQuest, and it's going to be a really hype series tomorrow against Team Liquid. Thanks for watching. See you next time.